Hello and welcome to Crusher Theory. I hope you enjoy this video. So, I wanted to talk about the Batman. It's what everyone's talking about at the moment. It's the new trend movie, and for good reason. Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves blow it out of the park. It is a detective noir or movie within the superhero genre, which is kind of a first, and it really is good, and it's a fresh take on the superhero genre. I really wanted to start with that because you may have been able to see by the title that this isn't going to be just sitting here praising it. I thought it was really good. I thought most of the mystery was good. I thought the action was a little lackluster, but it wasn't really more about the action. I really. Okay, it's been kind of vague spoilers, but now we're gonna get into real spoilers. So, spoiler alert that the Riddler won. He basically won. I mean, not everything he wanted came out to fruition. Like Batman didn't kind of join his side, and he didn't end up getting the mayor, the new mayor, dead at the end that he wanted to. But for the most part, he won. He flooded the city. He got all this corruption from Gotham out into the air. Everyone's distrusting of the government. The Riddler basically won, and for a first movie in a series to have the villain basically win is so ballsy and so respectable and so I didn't see coming. When he started to flood the city, I was like, how is Batman gonna stop this? And he didn't. I mean, he did his best to mitigate the damage, but he couldn't stop it. And I really didn't see that coming, and I really had to respect that. And I'm very glad that he did that. So, now with that being said, where do we go from here? Um, where are my criticisms of it? The end. The end is my criticism. Even though I respect the end for the Riddler basically winning, what I don't respect is the Riddler had exact situations for what he was doing. Everything was leading to the next thing, and there was a reason all of these people were being targeted. He was sociopathic, but he had reasons for what he was doing. When he was killing, his whole end of it was to kill the mayor, to kill the new mayor because he already killed the old mayor. And I was like, why? Why is he doing this? Because everyone else he had been doing it because they were corrupt and part of the renewal project and the cover up and all of that, which all that money that they used to money launder and stuff that was supposed to go to the orphanages that he was raised up in. That's why he was going after all those other people. But now he went after this mayor who really didn't have anything to do with that. And it just seemed like for that to be the finale of his plan, it just didn't fit the rest of the movie. That was problematic to me. If you can see why that might be problematic, because he had everything else step by step planned out, and then the final, the thing that's supposed to be most climactic, didn't feel most climactic because there wasn't a big reveal at the end of why he was doing it. And I felt like that was the one thing missing from the movie. That after Carmen Falcone got exposed as being behind all of it, there wasn't really another reveal, and that was the beginning of the third act. So then what the third act kind of felt empty because there wasn't that one more reveal. And not every movie needs a big reveal in the third act, but when you are a detective mystery type of film like this was, I felt like it really needed that at the end. And that was my problem with the film. So you may be saying, hey, maybe that's a valid criticism, but how would you do that? And here's how you do it. I think the Riddler. So the explanation of the Riddler knowing what he knows was that he worked as a forensic accountant and he found some of this stuff out. I think the simplest solution is that the mayor fed the Riddler this information in exchange for her becoming mayor because the Riddler was going to kill the mayor, the old mayor, the person she was running against. So, in that way, it shows the corruption of Gotham it continues to do that. It shows the seeds of this movie. It sticks with the scene. It sticks Riddler to continue his moral psyche. I mean, he is the hero of his own story. It's so clear, whether he's a sociopath or not, he believes he's doing what's right for Gotham, and he's willing to go to jail for it. So then, for all of a sudden, for him to destroy Gotham at the end, all to lead the mayor into a spot where she's has the opportunity to get killed, why would he do all that for the one person who hasn't been shown to be corrupt? I am sure that Matt Reeves has some sort of thing he wants to do with that character, and that's why she lived and survived through the assassination attempt. And she's kind of showing how, oh my god, we're gonna be the future and stuff. And I think maybe an interesting take is turning her into this universe as Harvey Dent in making her Two Face, because Harvey Dent, is supposed to be the like loyal political aspirations of the goodness that Gotham could be until the Joker corrupts him. And with the Joker coming in at the end, I think that's a valid possibility that that's where they go with that character. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but they didn't necessarily need that to be that way. I think if that was the case, they shouldn't have used her as the final target. And maybe I just missed something in the film, but for me, this was so clear that there needed to be that one reveal. When I was sitting in the theater, I leaned over to my friend and I was like, hey, I feel like there's one big reveal coming. And he like mentioned that Selena Kyle was working with the Riddler the whole time. And I didn't really like that because the way that her and Batman's relationship had been building up throughout the movie, that wouldn't have really fit too well. And I don't think that would have been too great. But I do still agree that there just needed to be one more reveal, or the Carmen Falcone reveal had to come later, and his final assassination had to do something, have to do with the third act more. If he was a big thing behind it all, you can't kill him in the beginning of the third act, because then most of the third act doesn't matter. Now, with that being said, I've spent a lot of time criticizing it. I think the mystery from the point of the beginning with the first mayor getting killed up until Carmen Falcone was very good. And if that was the whole mystery, that would be fine. And it was the whole mystery. And I'm not saying this movie is bad because of it. I'm just saying I think it was a very good movie. But for it to take that leap to great, there needed to be one more reveal at the end or readjust the timeline of how they revealed the stuff, because then at the end it kind of turns the Riddler more into just your common villain instead of keeping him elevated and keeping him consistent with his character of why he's doing what he's doing. He Because a sociopath can have justification for what they're doing and it still makes sense. And that's what I'm saying for the Riddler. He has justification for what he's doing. That doesn't mean what he's doing is right. That's why Batman is the hero and the Riddler is not. But in my opinion, what they should have made this movie more of, that the Riddler was the main villain, but truthfully, the villains were the people he was taking out. He was just doing it the wrong way. And that's what makes Batman a hero, is that he would have gladly stopped all these people. He would have just done it the right way, where the Riddler did it the wrong way because he wanted vengeance, which is a whole theme. Batman calls himself Vengeance, and at the end, it comes back around when one of Riddler's goons calls, says, they ask him who he is, and he goes, Vengeance. That's a big theme in the movie that Batman really isn't Batman yet. He's still acting as Vengeance. So he wants to develop himself into more of a hero, and that's what the monologue is at the end, that he wasn't the right thing for Gotham yet, but he's going to become that. And I think this even helps show that more, that if you don't ruin Riddler at the end by making him kill this or attempt to kill this person, and just because they're a powerful figure within Gotham, it would be much more respectable if he had a good reason that she was also corrupt, working with him the whole time. That would have been the perfect ending, in my opinion. That kill her, bam, or try and kill her. Maybe we don't kill her. Either way, try and kill her. And then Batman stops them, and he's like, and they're like, vengeance, because they're all corrupt and blah, 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 blah. And Batman stops them because he knows he has to become more than vengeance. And that's pretty much how the film went, except they kind of gave away Riddler at the end, which is kind of my whole point here. But for the most part, the scenes, everything in the Batman were very good. I just believe there was one thing that needed to get fixed, and this was it to make it a great Batman film. So if I had to rank it, it would probably be my second favorite Batman film behind The Dark Knight, or maybe the third after Batman Begins. So I hope you enjoyed my take. Let me know if you agree with me in the comment section, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining us at Crusher Theories.